tell me what y'all think. And y'all think the same things? Because literally, like, everything that comes out his mouth, I mean, he's worried that she is just not going to accept him. And I'm just like, damn. And then he keeps giving all these examples of how, like, he went on vacation with this woman. She never touched him the whole time. And he just felt so... And I'm just like, oh my God. These stories are, like, really adding up, pal. It's giving loser. It's giving you're not good in bed. It's giving you're a simp. What's up, loves? It's your girl Candace. I'm here with Confidential Talk, and I just got done watching Married at First Sight. This episode was the best thus far, okay? I mean, there was so much that happened and so much that we have to unpack. It is crazy. So, I mean, between, you know, Aries and Jasmine, their situation, Aries definitely telling on himself, okay? We're gonna talk about it. Let's talk about McKinley calling Gina sexy, okay? I was like, oh, you know, let's talk about it. Let's talk about Clint and how he completely just disregards anything that Gina is saying. And I mean, I feel like I have mixed feelings about the whole situation. So we're gonna talk about it, right? And then the whole Dominique not really being attracted to McKinley, and a lot of people revealing that they're not attracted to each other. Let's be honest, okay? So I told y'all in one of my last reviews, okay? Anytime somebody say I have admiration for them, they're soft on the eyes. I don't know the wording, okay? Because at the end of the day, I don't like to play them games, okay? I'm not trying to sugarcoat whether or not I think you're attractive or not. And of course, they're on TV. They're trying to nicely say that they're not attractive, but I mean, I could see it happening. And I already knew off the bat Gina wasn't feeling Clint. I could tell. And it's those things. Like, I'm pretty sure she said that, like, when she first met him at their wedding. She was like, oh, he's easy on the eyes. I don't know exactly what she said, okay? But it was something of that nature. And I think Dominique said the same thing about McKinley. So it's just a lot that we have to unpack in this episode. So let's get into it. But first, if you guys are new here, welcome. My name is Candace. I do videos on sex, love, relationships. I talk about some sex toys and just how to improve your sex life and different stuff like that. So tap in, check out some of my other videos. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and become part of the family. We are a non-judgment zone over here, okay? So you can just feel freely to open up and let's talk. Check out the website, confidentialtalk.com. I got your pleasure items over there as well too. But yes, let's get into this episode, y'all, because it is a lot to unpack, okay? So we start off the episode with Dominique and McKinley. And she says on the scale to 1 to 10, he's a 6.5, okay? And the romance is a 3 or 4. So what I'm seeing here is pretty much that she's not feeling his sense of humor. And I noticed this the last episode when they were having dinner and he were talking about how he does certain stuff that he's actually probably never done. And I could tell that he was kind of joking, but she's having a hard time wrapping her head around it. It's like, I don't know what's real, what's not. Is he joking? Has he done it? And then, you know, so she's like trying to go along with it. She's smiling, but it's a little cringy because I can kind of tell she ain't feeling it, okay? She ain't feeling the jokes. She ain't getting it. She calls her mom and she tells her how she feels. She reveals that she's a lot more adventurous than him, which I will say that this shouldn't be a red flag because opposites really do attract, and sometimes the people that are a little bit more reserved, you can really get them out their shell and get them to try different stuff. But obviously we see later in the episode that it's not just him not being adventurous. He complaining, okay? He yapping. He yapping at the mouth, and it's making her not want to do the activities. So I kind of get her on that. But before that was revealed, I was kind of thinking, well, like, okay, well, it's not necessarily a bad thing that he's not as adventurous. That's not, you know, because you're not usually doing adventurous thing every day on a daily basis. So that's not, it's okay. As long as he's willing to do it. And this looks like, from our perspective, he's willing to do it. But she said if it was up to him that he would just sit on the beach and just enjoy Jamaica. Okay. So then we move on to Clint and Gina. they have like this amazing breakfast pool situation going on, and I'm here for it. I'm like, put me there. That looks amazing. Okay, hopefully there's seats. I think they're standing up, but honestly, even then, I'm okay with that. It looks so romantic. It's so cute. She says that they're getting to know each other and they will work on the physical later. This is literally all we hear them talk about on camera. But then she starts talking about her job, and Clint makes a great point that he really wants to work smarter and not harder. Okay, so like how she's just always talking about her job and stuff, it's just like, okay, I want you to enjoy life though. I want you to, like, you know, figure out how you can set up a situation where you're not working as much but you're still getting your income so you can enjoy your life. So I did get that from that perspective, but I knew this was gonna happen. And I think if you guys have been watching my reviews, y'all know that I've been predicting this. She is opening up a business. This is literally, she literally just had a baby. Like, she is not gonna be, this is not a situation where it's like, oh, I'm employed people to run the business and they're gonna do it for me and I'm just gonna collect a check. No, that is not how this works, okay? She is heavily involved in that salon, and it's, I knew. And usually when you have a business, I know some people are like, oh my gosh, she's talking about her business. Coming from someone that have a small business, honestly, to be honest with y'all, I be trying not to talk about my business so much to people. Like, I get so excited when people actually take liking to like what I'm doing and they ask questions. I'm like, oh my god, yeah, let me show you this. And I get so hyped up. So I can understand Gina and where she's coming from. She just started a business, but maybe getting on Married at First Sight wasn't the best choice right now, especially because she has to put in that effort and work there, and it looks like she works 6 days a week. Okay, and yeah, and then when you're a business owner, you actually don't work just 6 days a week. You literally work every day. Okay, you work every day. Anyways, I digress, y'all. So she gets into her job, and Clint okay, I said that already. Honestly, yeah, and it looks like it seems like she's in there 6 days a week. I did say that because I heard her say something about she has to do hair from, what was that, Wednesday to Friday, and then, you know, there's Monday and Tuesday. It was like Thursday to Saturday or something like that, and then there's Monday and Tuesday, so that really only leaves like Sunday and Wednesday off. And honestly, even then, she's probably in that bitch. So she's probably working a good 6 to 7 days a week. Clint says that he's trying to get to know her, but all she talks about is the salon. He wants to know Gina. And again, I kind of get her. Like, right now, that is her life. That's her life. When your job is your life, in your curricular activity is all you, it's kind of you right now. But so I kind of understand both sides though, because I kind of understand his perspective, especially since she signed on to this experiment. It's like, you know, let's give a little bit more effort and less effort talking about your business. But moving along, we go on to Aries and Jasmine. And of course, I put in my notes, throw the whole couple away, because I was at the beginning of the episode, I was so over them. But the new revelations has got me a little bit more interested. Okay, so Aries, I noticed Aries stopped talking during the massage. One thing I hate, y'all, I love going for a massage, okay? I love going for a massage, but one thing I hate is when, like, my masseuse is, like, talking to me, or, like, people are trying to have conversations. Like, shut the hell up. I'm trying to relax. I'm borderline trying to fight sleep the whole time, okay? Like, that's what I want to be doing my entire massage. I want to be in relaxation. I want to, like, slightly doze off and come back to life. Like, that is what I want to do. I don't want to hear you yapping, okay? So there, he's talking to this massage. She reveals that they actually haven't had much physical touch, which I did not realize this. So she decides to give him a massage after the massage, and she was like, yeah, this is the most we ever touched. And I'm like, this is when I got, like, interested again. I was like, oh, okay, interesting. So he kind of makes this, like, excuse, like, yeah, even though we just met, you know, just trying to take things slow, and this is what I expected for people that just met. And she said this is a little alarming to her because he was all with this sexual energy at first. You just asked me what my favorite sex position was, and now you try to take your time. What's going on? You know, which it didn't add up. So yes, it was very alarming. I was like, okay, interested. So that's why I was like, I'm like, okay, I'm invested. I'm back invested into this. So then we get Chris and Nicole. They chilling, okay? They seem cool. But see, this is my thing. They seem cool, and it seems like Nicole, I don't know, please comment. And I want you guys, I didn't say this at the beginning. Please, please, please comment. I want to talk to you guys. This is why I get on here on YouTube to talk about this show, because I need y'all to give me y'all input, okay? So, Chris and Nicole, it seems like, for me, in my perspective, you know, Nicole is just going along with a lot of things that Chris is saying. And he is really sounding like a simp. Okay? Yes, it is okay to have been through some stuff. There is okay to say that some women have treated you bad in past relationships. It is okay. We all been through it. But I mean, every scene that I've seen Chris and Nicole in this episode, he was talking about how he is worried that Nicole is not going to accept this about him. He going to be worried that Nicole think he's too lazy because, child, he just like to lay up in the bed and or sit on the couch when he not working. He just worried about if Nicole going to be satisfied in the bed, honey, because he don't know if he could put it down, okay? He don't know how he going to please her, because at the end of the day, he was in a relationship for a year and a half, and they only had sex 3 times. And you saw Nicole's face. The thing is, that's why I'm wondering how cool Nicole is with everything, because her initial reaction would have been anybody's reaction, but it went right back into like this cool, like supportive mode. And I'm just like, Nicole, none of this is like red flag, red flag, red flag. This guy is not really good in bed. This is what I'm hearing. Okay, I might be jumping the gun a little bit. I'm sorry. Because this episode was so juicy. But like everything Chris was saying this episode was just like red flag, red flag. I'm a simp, I'm a simp, I'm a simp. I don't know. Y'all please comment below. Please don't come for me if y'all don't agree, because it's just my opinion. But y'all tell me what y'all think. And y'all think the same things? Because literally, like, everything that comes out his mouth, I mean, he's worried that she is just not going to accept him. And I'm just like, damn. And then he keeps giving all these examples of how, like, he went on vacation with this woman. She never touched him the whole time. And he just felt so... And I'm just like, oh my God. These stories are, like, really adding up, pal. It's giving loser. It's giving you're not good in bed. It's giving you're a simp. But, excuse me, I'm not trying to be mean. It's just that's what it's giving, okay? Whoo, child. But yeah, I went off on a tangent just now. But yes, I mean, in my notes, here we go. I said, I mean, she tries to relate. I feel like she tells her a little story to try to relate. And that's why I'm just like, girl, how cool are you with this, right? So, I said Chris is giving I'm bad in bed. He's worried that he will not perform the way she wants. He wants to make sure he's pleasing her. Child. Anyways, so we get the couples, not the couples, the guys and the girls, the men and the women come together. Let me see here. Is this when... Yes, the group gets together and they update one another, right? So Dominique opens up about not understanding McKinley's jokes, which I kind of already knew. The Chris and Nicole are good, okay? They Gucci, they're holding hands. While Chris secretly feels like we do this too much. It's hot in Jamaica. I don't need to always hold your hand, but here we are. So Clint asked Aries, did he blow Jasmine's back out? He ain't even touching her, okay? So, Aries says he's trying to move slower since his past relationships haven't worked for him. And Jasmine already catches bullshit. She already like, look, that don't sound right. I mean, that sounds like a safe answer. That sounds like the appropriate answer. But you had all this sexual energy when we first got here, and all of a sudden you just want to take a pause. Anywho. And I'll tell you why I really feel that way, but anywho. Because I really... Ooh. That's what I'm saying. It's so much to unpack, y'all. So much to unpack, but I'm gonna wait to hold that little juice until we get there, okay? So, let's see here. So, Kirsten and Shaq's bald head. Stop, girl. Stop. Just stop. We just not even gonna talk on about that. And here come Clint talking about he used to date slender, more athletic women. Okay, I didn't really feel like his comments were disrespectful. I think they were insensitive and rude. But I don't think that, I mean, especially because she has been open about that she likes, I mean, if the ginger is a physical, I don't think it's the fact that ginger is an insult, okay? I think Clint was really grasping for air. Like, I think he was really just trying to grab onto anything that would work for him to defend himself. Instead of just pointing out the true fact that gender is a physical trait, physical quality that you can change or not, and so is a shape. But I think because it was a clear shot, but we also here in the after show, which y'all the reason why, because we talked about this in the comments last review. Y'all the reason why I watched the after show, because some things get revealed in the after show. So we find out that Gina and him had already had this conversation. It was nothing new. But again, to Dominique's point in the after show, it was the first time it was heard out loud. And not only did Gina hear how everybody else felt, or how she had to deal with it with how she felt about it being said in front of everybody. Because obviously your hair color versus how your build is two totally different things. Like, I mean, it's a little bit more a hit someone attacking how you look physically as far as your build. So I didn't say it is a little bit worse, but I think the fact that everyone else was offended, and then she had to hear everyone else's opinion, it probably added the fuel to the fire, right? Okay, so let me go back, because I went a little off track. Because this is when he just actually says it, right? Let me find where I'm at. But I think personally the reason why he said it was to do a get back. That's my person. I mean, I know they had a private conversation, but it just seemed to me every time where he was on camera, he showed interest in Gina, and she was always the one kind of like, eh. So I have a hard time believing that it's not a response. Oh, I'm responding to you. I could be wrong. Y'all comment below. Let me know what y'all think. So we move on to Aries and Jasmine first. After they kind of get together, Aries done told on himself, okay? He says that Nicole was trying to get her back blown out night 2 of the honeymoon. But now, you know, she want to take things slow. She don't like him. She don't like him. But that's exactly what he's doing with Jasmine. And that's exactly how he feels about Jasmine. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Told on himself, right? Crazy. I was like, as soon as he said it, I knew. He does feel like more of a friend vibe from her, but he hasn't told her that yet. And he's not really attracted to her. So we move on to Gina and Clint. Gina is over Clint. He's talking to her. He's not reading her energy. And this is where I have to fault Clint for the whole situation, right? And I feel like men tend to have, I don't want to group everybody together. Not all men do this, but it seems to be that men don't know how to read a room sometimes when it comes to a woman. If you see a woman, it's like obviously upset and like she clearly looked disturbed, okay? She clearly looked upset. She clearly looked like she was just like tapped out. That was probably plenty enough. You guys slept in the same room. You probably had plenty of opportunity to just be like, hey, are you okay? What happened? Like, you know, where are you at? How are you feeling? Stuff like that. Like, and it seems like, especially because in the after party he never mentioned anything of it. They seem to haven't talked about it, especially because of what Gina said in the episode. So he never actually tried to initiate any type of conversation about it or see if she was okay. And I really have a hard time with this. Even if he felt like, well, I didn't say anything wrong because she already knew how I felt. It's just the fact that if you see someone is like obviously upset and they're detached and not talking to you, this is your partner, it's important that you try to tap in and see what's going on. And that, my friends, Men, y'all gotta work on. Because that shit is not cool. Okay? It's just not cool. We go to Chris and Nicole. Chris is worried again, child. He worried again. He worried that he's too lazy for Nicole. I already talked to y'all about this. But she's being cool. She's acting like none of this bothers her. So the guys and the girls get together to talk. So we have the guys get together and then the girls get together, right? So Clint lets Chris know already that he needs to stay dominant, okay? Because Nicole will walk all over him and she gonna lay down the law. He ain't got, listen, Nicole gonna boss him around, okay? Clint sees it. She a boss. She did. Like, you know, he didn't say that. I'm paraphrasing. But, like, Clint is the therapist. Who made Clint the therapist? Please, help me. Who? He up there giving everybody some advice. After he threw that little bombshell that made all the girls uncomfortable. Right? Dominique says that McKinley complains too much. It's a turnoff. We get Aries says that Jasmine is a 4 or a 5. Damn, not a 7? 4 or a 5? That's bad. 4 or 5? Damn, at least call me a 7. I accept a 7. 7 is still an insult. But I'll take it. That's your personal feelings. But I'll take a 7. Not you saying 4 or 5. It's the teeth, ain't it? I knew that grill was gonna get her in trouble. I knew it. I'm sorry to say that. Because I love Jasmine. Y'all know. Y'all been watching my reviews. I always talk highly of her. I love her. But I knew that girl was gonna get her in trouble. But he says obviously she wants beauty pageants. So, I mean, he honestly really feels bad that he's not attracted to her. He feels terrible, okay? So, they bring up Clint's comment. Everyone is bothered. Nicole says she would have stabbed him in the throat. Which kind of proves Clint's point about she ain't with the okay. Clint says that she always talks about the salon and he wonders if this is just a big promo. I don't believe that at all. She's not once said her salon name, so I don't think so. McKinley defends. Y'all, this is it. McKinley defends her, which this is where I was like, okay, McKinley. He was like, you know, I've owned a couple small businesses myself, so I completely understand when you're owning a business, you talk about it a lot. You know, I could see where she's coming from, which, again, I feel the same way about McKinley feels. I'm like, I can kind of see it, right? I can see why she talks about her business all the time. And she's not opening this is not a small business, it's a big ass business. So, like, yeah, so I can understand why she's talking about it all the time. Then he further goes to say that Gina is sexy. I don't know what you're talking about, Clint. I don't know what your problem is. She's beautiful. He called her sexy and beautiful, right? Which, of course, Aries' face, the look on Aries' face, it made everything more like, right? But I really feel like when he explained it on the 101, he was just like, you know, this is probably the best that Clint ever gonna get. She's badass compared to probably what Clint has. Clint, like, he's lucky. So, in that regard, I feel like maybe that's where the comments derived from. I don't think he's like, oh, he's been checking Gina out. Maybe he has. Who knows? But I don't know if that's really where it came from. But, like, I was like, okay, defend Gina boo. Because I've been loving Gina since she walked on the scene with her big-ass teeth and this big-ass smile. I love her. She's like just such great energy. And I just really wanted this to work out for her. But honestly, I honestly think she just need to pack it up, go home, and worry about her business. And then, you know, after she gets everything worked, you know, figured out, built, then look for love, okay? So, Then we move on to Dominique and McKinley's conversation, and he apologized for complaining too much. He, and like literally off the bat, just acknowledges how he's been and acknowledges how Dominique probably feels. Then we move on to Shaq and Kirsten. Kirsten want a problem so bad. She want a problem. She want to have a problem so bad. You don't have to criticize. Oh, you don't take criticizing well. But you don't have to criticize everything. It's early on. Just get to know him. Fully get to know him before you're telling him, oh, you shouldn't be cracking jokes all the time. Oh, you shouldn't be doing this. Oh, you don't take criticizing well. No, you shouldn't be criticizing me. I've met you 3 days ago. You barely know me. Don't play. Like, Kirsten. But one thing I love about Shaq is that he ain't taking the bullshit. He's like, you know what? If you don't accept me the way I am, I joke, I have fun, I like to play. If you're my partner, you don't accept me the way I am, we're not compatible. I'm like, yes, Shaq, period. Know your worth. Because she, like, unbelievable. Unbelievable, y'all. We see you, boo, and we support you, Shaq, okay? We here for you. So then we move on to Jasmine and Aries. Jasmine opens up about how she feels about going into the this is going to be a challenge for her because he's never been in love. And this is like the hot topic of the episode for her. So I think that for Aries, it's kind of like, whoa, you know, pump the brakes. Yes, I understand that's been on your mind, but like we're literally just getting to know each other. 3rd, 4th day. You worry about the wrong things. Let's just get to know each other. Yes, of course it's a red flag. It's 100% a red flag. But pump the brakes, right? So, she just talks about how she falls in love. She falls in love really easily, right? So this is where I realized, I'm like, I think he realized that Jasmine, he probably already knew that about Jasmine, right? And that's why he realized, I can't have sex with this girl. I'm not attracted to her in this way. She really gonna be heartbroken. And that's the thing. I feel like Aries is a player. I feel like he is very sex derived. Like I feel like he's very sex driven. And that's like his main concern for whatever reason. I think it's immature, but that seems to be his concern. But I also feel like he's a grown ass man. He's almost 40. And he understands that if he has sex with her, she gonna go crazy. And he don't want them problems. So he gonna take his time, get to know her. He can't put the good on her right away. I don't know if he's serving that good. I'm not really attracted to Aries. I know a lot of people think he's attractive or they see the sex appeal. I think he's just a sex hungry man, and honestly it's a huge turn off for me. So personally it wouldn't work for me. Like that shit don't work for me. Like at all. And it like maybe it's because of the way he look. He's just not my type. You know what I mean? But and I feel like to add on to it, because I'm not a shallow person, I don't need to be automatically physically attracted to you. I have to like your personality, and I feel like that kind of changes how you look to me, and not just how I am. So Aries is not my type, so it's no for me. But obviously Jasmine like him. She like, oh, I can fall in love easy. So that man is like, look, I'm booking 40. I'm not about to slang no dick her way and make her fall in love, and I'm not there. I feel like that's why he like, nope, you know what, actually. But that just goes to show what type of man he is, because you can still try to build some intimacy without there being sex involved, or you know what I mean? Like you can try to build intimacy, and that just shows a lack of immaturity on his part, because I feel like he just went in it trying to get on your knees, you know, what's your favorite sex position? It's just like, ugh. Like, it's just a huge turn off, y'all. That's me. But yeah, then he says though that he feels awkward. The whole conversation made him feel awkward. And that's understandable, because she's like really worried about something that, you know, they just met each other. He like, look, I don't know what to say to you. But like that, it's just, I don't know, y'all. Like this, throw the whole relationship away. But I'm a little invested now, because I'm really wondering how this is going to unpack, especially when they live together. So we'll see what happens. So we get to Gina and Clint. So this is the last scene, child. Last scene. So Gina says that she was offended about the weight thing. Clint says that he was offended about her calling him Ginger. That was an offensive term. She's like, well, I'm a hairstylist. And ginger is a thing. And I've never heard that. I've never heard that is a derogatory term, or like I've never heard any of that, right? Gina explains to him that a lot of the ladies were offended, and he really doesn't take ownership in the fact that he offended other ladies. He's like, well, I'm sorry that you guys feel that way, but it wasn't my intent. And one thing I had to explain to somebody recently is sometimes you don't know how you may come across to someone, and even though that it wasn't your intent, sometimes things that you say or you do can offend other people, and you just have to be mindful of that. We just have to take a little bit more accountability when we have hurt or bothered someone else that's around you, especially if you respect them. So I think that was just a moment for him to be like, you know what I said was wrong. I'm sorry if it made the group feel uncomfortable. I felt like me and you had personally talked about this, but we didn't hear any of that in the episode. He was being very defensive. He was trying to grasp at something so he could defend himself and make her look bad. After she had walked away, she just said, we need to spend time apart. I just felt like the way he went about it was very revealing. It was very childish. And see, that's a red flag for me. When men act a certain way after a conversation, even if it felt like she was wrong or she was partially wrong, you're talking after I walk away, you're yelling things, you're saying certain stuff, you're shooting them below the belt. I just don't like that. Okay, so Clint, it was a no for me. But I've been feeling that way, but it was just a no for me. So that was the episode, y'all. It was really, really nuts. Please comment below. Let me know what y'all thought about it. Tell me what y'all think about the couples. Who gonna make it, who not. Look like nobody gonna make it in this bitch. Okay? I'm telling you, not even Chris and Nicole. I know it looks like it, but Nicole. Anyways, y'all, please comment below. Let me know what y'all think. And I will see you guys in the next recap. Okay? Peace.